Hi, everybody. The topic of this podcast is going to be divided thesis statements. So, just as a review, when you're writing a divided thesis statement, basically what you're doing is you're writing one sentence that's going to serve as kind of the roadmap for your entire essay, so that when you get to the end of that introduction paragraph, the reader has a real understanding of where you're going to go in the essay, what you're going to either prove or explain or whatever it might be. It also helps you as a writer because it gives you that direction. You know where you're going, you know how you're going to organize your paragraphs. So you're not going to end up, going off on a tangent or, spending too much time on one point and not another, that kind of thing. So just to recap for you, there's sort of 5 main parts of a divided thesis statement. The first part is the restricted topic. The second part is your opinion about that topic. And then the third, fourth, and fifth parts are your 3 divisions. So when I say restricted topic, what I mean by that is you need to have a topic that's small enough that you can really fully handle it in a 5-paragraph essay or whatever the length of the paper might be. So for example, you wouldn't have a topic of basketball. That's just too big of a topic. There's just too much there. You couldn't possibly write a 5-paragraph essay on the topic of basketball. So if you wanted to write about basketball in a 5-paragraph essay, what you would want to do is you'd want to write about some smaller aspect of it. So maybe it's, the fundamental aspects of playing the game. Maybe it's the greatest players who've ever played, the best team that there ever was, how it was created, something like that. So let's say we decided to go with the fundamental components of basketball as our topic because we decided that's more manageable in a 5-paragraph essay. We need to then have some kind of an opinion about it. Now, when I say opinion, it doesn't have to be a strong, persuasive opinion. It depends on the type of essay you're writing. If you're writing a persuasive essay, then your opinion is going to be something like, this is wrong, this is right, this is important, this should be banned, whatever it might be. But with a topic like this, your opinion could just be that these are the fundamental elements of basketball. And then you'd have your 3 divisions. Now, again, your 3 divisions are going to basically represent your 3 topics of your body paragraphs. So let's say we said the fundamental components of basketball are passing, dribbling, and shooting. So those would be our 3 divisions, and we would then have a body paragraph about each one of those. And in that paragraph, we would go into the detail of that particular element, why it's important to the game, what it means, how to go about learning it, whatever it might be. So that's obviously a really basic example. When you're coming up with your divisions, however, you really want to think about, is your division big enough and also small enough to be handled in an 8-sentence body paragraph. So, sometimes you come up with a division, but you really don't have a whole lot to say about it. Maybe it's kind of self-explanatory. You don't really have details, evidence, that kind of thing to support it or to explain it. Or sometimes it's too big. You could go on for pages trying to explain this one, division. So you want to think about divisions that are going to be easily addressed in an 8-sentence paragraph, and that your divisions are all kind of on the same level as far as that goes. Sometimes you'll have some that are stronger than others, which is okay, but you want them to kind of fit together and kind of complement each other. You also want to think about using parallel structure with your thesis statement, and by that I mean when you have your listing of your 3 divisions in your thesis statement, you want to think about the way you're phrasing them and phrasing them in the same way. So if I said passing, shooting, and dribbling, there's some nice parallel structure there because we have the ing, verbs, and they all kind of match. So you want to think about setting them up in a similar way. So that's kind of the basics of a thesis statement. Again, it helps you, have a clear picture of where you're going, and it helps the reader also have that when they're starting to read your essay. The 2 places that you're going to find the thesis statement in an essay are the last sentence of the introduction paragraph and the first sentence of the conclusion paragraph. So then again, at the end of the essay, you're just reminding the reader, this is what I just explained to you, this is what I just proved to you, and so they leave with, again, that understanding of what your whole message was, what your whole point was. Obviously, you want to avoid things like using first person. You don't want to say, I think that these are the important things about basketball. You just want to say it. You don't want to say, in my opinion. So there shouldn't be any reference to yourself. You also don't want to talk about your essay in your essay. So you don't want to say, in this essay, I will show this, or I will prove this, or this essay will explain. So you want to try to avoid that. As you get more sophisticated as a writer, you'll move a little bit more away from the divided thesis statement into an undivided thesis statement. We'll talk about that more as we go. We'll also go over a lot more examples in class, but this is just kind of a refresher just to kind of remind you of the things that we've talked about how to write a thesis statement. All right, see you in class.